Welcome to a story about a man who had to make a very hard choice between the person he loved more than anyone else and his own heart. Sometimes life puts us in situations where we have to sit down and decide what truly matters most to us as human beings. Today, we are sharing a story from a group of caring experts who believe that every single person on this earth deserves to be treated with kindness, warmth, and respect. Let us begin this story together. The waiter had just finished bringing out the sweet treats and desserts at the end of our meal when my future father-in-law stood up from his chair. He lifted his glass high into the air, looked right into my eyes, and let out a big, loud laugh. He told the whole room of people that he still did not understand what his daughter saw in a man like me. He made it sound like I was not good enough for her. Everyone at the table started laughing at his words, and that sadly included the woman I was supposed to marry. I did not say anything back to him at that time. I did not get angry or shout. I just smiled nicely at everyone, took a slow sip of my warm coffee, and made a quiet choice in my mind that no one at that table saw coming. It was a choice that would change our lives forever. My name is Ethan Walker. I am 35 years old, and I spent a lot of my time in very hard work starting my own small business that builds computer programs to help people. I am the kind of person who tries to stay very calm even when things get tough or stressful. I always try my best to be polite to everyone I meet, and I believe in my heart that you should never let someone treat you poorly, even if you love them very much. The woman I was going to marry is named Madison Carter. She is 32 years old and works as a lawyer for big companies. She is a very smart woman, and she works incredibly hard, but she cares a lot about what her family thinks of her. Her father is Richard Carter. He is 61 years old and has a successful business that has made him a lot of money. He is a proud man who always speaks his mind and truly believes that having a lot of money is the only thing that makes a person important in this world. Madison and I had been a couple for 4 whole years. When I asked her to marry me, she said yes right away. I was so happy because I really thought I had found the person I would spend the rest of my life with. The only hard part was her father. Richard never seemed to like me at all. No matter what I did or how well my business was doing, he always found a way to make me feel like I was not good enough to be with his daughter. Even so, I was always nice to him. I hoped that if I stayed kind, he would eventually change his mind. Then we had our special party to celebrate our upcoming marriage. Our families met at a very fancy restaurant with white cloths on the tables. Everything seemed wonderful until Richard stood up to give a speech. He said he wanted to say something nice about the couple. Everyone smiled and waited for his words. Then he looked at me and said he hoped I remembered that marrying into their family did not make me a success. A few people felt nervous and laughed a little bit, but he was not done yet. He said he had hired young students who were just starting out that had a much better future than I did. The whole room went quiet and felt very uncomfortable. I looked at Madison to see what she would do. She did not stand up for me. Instead, she laughed a little and told her dad he was being silly. Then the whole table laughed again. I forced myself to smile, but inside I felt something break. For the rest of the night, I was polite. I thanked everyone, paid for my part of the dinner, and said good night. When we got outside, Madison caught up to me and asked if I was mad. I asked her if she really thought what her dad said was funny. She just moved her shoulders and said that was just how he was. She told me he was only joking. I told her that a joke is only funny if everyone is laughing, and I was not laughing. She rolled her eyes and told me I was taking things too seriously. I did not argue. I just went home. That night, I could not sleep. I kept thinking about the look on her face when she laughed. The next morning, she sent me a message asking if I was still mad. I asked her to meet me at a quiet coffee shop. When we sat down, I looked at her and told her I had been thinking about our future. She smiled at me, but I told her I could not marry someone who stays quiet while their family treats me poorly in front of everyone. She was shocked. I told her I did not need her to fight with her father, but I did need her to stand by my side. She told me it was not a big deal, but I told her it was a very big deal to me. I ended our engagement right there because that dinner showed me that she would not be there for me when things got hard. A week later, she came over to say she was sorry. She realized she had spent her whole life letting her father be mean because everyone else did. I told her I forgave her, but that did not mean we should be together. Later on, Richard asked why we broke up. Madison told him it was because she laughed when she should have stood up for me. Now, I do not even remember the mean things he said. I only remember the silence from the woman I loved. Love is about making sure your partner never feels alone when they are being treated badly. Sometimes, you have to prove you are on their side, even when everyone else is against them. We hope this story helps you remember your worth.